You probably clicked on this video wondering, what the hell is sustained gain? Don't worry, I will explain it to you, because that's how I got from that to that. You're probably seeing the slide up right now, but yeah, I went through a pretty good transformation, losing all that belly fat, because as an out of shape guy, it probably sucks, doing this every single minute of the day, thinking about the shirt that you have to wear because your gut is protruding out of every single shirt that you're wearing, and you're like, Shibai, I hate myself in the mirror, I have no confidence, bro, I cannot get the huzz, man. Look, I get you, right? And you want to take off your shirt at the beach with abs or with that flat stomach and not seem like a doof head, right? This is the perfect video for you, because sustained gain is the best form of sustainable weight loss on the market. And no, it's not a pill that you take. If you put in the work with the system that I have created just for you, you will lose weight just like that. It will feel effortless. And on top of that, you're going to be able to do it very, very easily. Okay, so let's get into it. Now, before I begin with the explanation of sustained gain, you're probably wondering, hey, does this shit actually work? Does this shit actually take the functional pill? Here are some results. Here, 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 and I think that's all I have there. As you can see, my clients are winning. They're losing the weight and they are feeling like they aren't dieting. So if you think that this shit doesn't work, it's worked for me and it's working for my clients. So with that out of the way, let's actually get into what the hell sustained gain is. So my journey started in June of 2022, right? So 3 years ago, pretty long time. Now, unfortunately, the first 1.5 years, I lifted like Jack's fit. Why, you may ask? I was uneducated. I was puzzleless. I'm still puzzleless, by the way. I didn't know what I was doing. I was lifting till mild discomfort, and on top of that, my mentality was extremely weak. Okay, you have to understand, when your mentality is weak, when you don't really want to do what you want to do, or at least have a strong form of discipline, you're not going to stick to it. And that was the reality, right? I wasn't doing legs. My first 1.5 years, I didn't do legs at all. And now I haven't skipped it for the past 6 months. Yeah, surprise, surprise. That's what happens when you build a mentality. But I didn't have a system, and most importantly, I didn't have a system. When you don't have a system, nothing else works in your life, genuinely, because sometimes on the days that are bad, or the bad days, you need a system to automate everything, which is a routine, a form of, set time that you go to the gym, or a set form of a diet that you follow. I had none of those things, and I capitulated in my first 1.5 years. I didn't lose the big old belly that I had, which was grunting out of every shirt that I was wearing, and it sucked, okay? I had no confidence. I had no ambition for any part of my life. This was the period of my life from 2022 to 2024 where I had no ambition. I was just playing video games every single day for 4 or 5 hours straight. And yeah, I had no system, nothing to follow until early this year, 2025, when I realized it's ultimately my fault, right? It's always been my fault. I started to do more research. I started watching Jeff Nippard, Mike Irresistible, the guy that, by the way, tells you to do a bicep curl fly. What the actual fuck? But anyway, that guy, before, he had some horrendous takes, and I started to implement a method which is called sustained gain, right? It was my own method of weight loss, sustainable weight loss, that I've built up over researching for a very long time. And I started to shift my mindsets. After getting into the self-improvement space, my mindset started to harden up a lot. I could bear a lot more pain, a lot more of those bad days. I started journaling. I started, started actually tracking my calories properly, having a system, having a somewhat of an approach to where I could successfully get to my goal of having abs and having a six-pack and getting all the huzz, which, I mean, I'm getting them looking at me, but actually getting a girlfriend, but it's getting there. We're getting close. We're a few steps away, but that is what has happened. My mindset, pretty much like the old me, was killed, because in my opinion, if nothing changes, my guy. You have to remember that. All right. So method implementation, mindset change, and what was I supposed to say? Seeking knowledge and research, and having no ego while doing this. I didn't have an ego. I thought I knew jack shit, and that was reality. Guys, I was out of shape, and I had a belly. I was the average South Asian walking around looking chopped as hell at the time, right? And I knew I had to ascend a bit. I knew I had to better myself. I knew I had to better every aspect of my life, and that's what I did. And that perfectly segues into who this program is actually for. Like I said, you need to have that strong mindset to change no matter what it takes, right? You need to have that all or nothing approach to changing, because if you don't, You're not going to want to change, and you're going to be like, oh, do the magic for me. Give me the pill, give me the needle maxine. Bruv, it does not work like that. And if you work a busy job alongside uni or school, and you're wondering how to actually manage, all your time, how to find a workout plan that works for you, how to manage your diet, your calories, and you need a system or accountability to segue into your fitness so that you can stay on top of it, this program is for you, or the Sustain Gain Protocol. And if you hate your gut flabbing out of every jacket, shirt, and you hate looking at yourself in the mirror, and you want to take off your shirt at the beach, get all the hugs with those abs. I mean, do they care about abs? Probably. I mean, I don't know. Maybe. And you want to be more self-confident and more confident in yourself and your abilities so that you can segue and project into every other aspect of your life. This program is for you. Now, who is this not for? Is, like I said, a lazy bum that wants me to do all the dirty work. As a coach, I will do everything necessary for you to get the best system, the best assistance, and the best form of accountability. But if you, on your end, do not want to do anything, just want to, I don't know, couch max till failure and just want, I don't know, the perfect system, and I'll half-ass it, and no, it doesn't work like that. It does not work like that. Segueing into the common gym myths that you'll face in this bloody community. First off, go to the gym 5 to 6 times a week. Ugh, my bad. Follow a really specific diet, keto, carnivore, they make you lose weight extra fast. Eat super clean, you cannot have any processed food. Processed food is so bad for you. Clean food, real food for the win. Wow. It is. Real food is way better, but there's a way to do it, right? I'll explain to you in a bit. Why am I yapping? Yap pill taken. Holy crap. Do more sets. The more sets you do, the more muscle you build, and do higher reps too. And also, what else was there? Oh my god. You have to do cardio every single day to lose weight. If you don't, you're a dumbass. Bullshit. BS, bro. This shit's BS. And here's what you actually do. First off, with your training, you need to train really hard. And I mean to the point where you piss yourself. Okay, not when you piss yourself, but train near failure. You only need 2 to 1 sets of that even. Okay, second of all, you don't need to follow a specific diet. A diet that works for you and your schedule, which I will be setting up for you, right? The 80-20 rule, right? 80% whole food, 20% the food that you want. On top of that, you only need to go to the gym 3 to 4 times a week, training the muscle twice a week, including your legs, right? 2 times frequency. And on top of that, you don't need to do cardio every single day, just 10k steps hit every single day, alongside hitting 2 to 4 Stairmaster sessions every single week will work out for you perfectly. That's what you actually do, okay? Because it is called Sustain Gain. And where does it, and you've said, oh, but you haven't told us the sustain part of it. You've only told us should be called Sustain Gain. Well, you're getting muscle in the process, right? And with Sustain Gain, the sustain part comes from the fact that we include refeed days. Now, a refeed day is where you are eating at calorie maintenance, right? Or near calorie maintenance with a higher carb intake to repair or fill up your muscle glycogen for the week so that you don't crash and you don't binge eat and you don't return to this awful cycle of you cheating for a week, going back to the diet for 2, cheating for a week, going back to the diet for another 2 weeks, and then going on, and you don't lose weight or you lose it really, really slow. That is a sustained part of Sustain Gain. On top of that, with my method of Sustain Gain, we want to at least give you these habits that I'm teaching you so that you can implement them for a lifetime. This isn't, oh, well, I'm only going to implement this for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and never do them again. These are lifelong habits, right? So that you don't need to worry about someone else setting it up for you, because you know what to do. I've educated you on my end on what you can do to have a sustainable form of weight loss in your bag for the rest of your life. Because when you finish your lean bulking phase, you can cut with the exact same method sustainably for a good amount of time and without crash dieting and without failing, right? Because I've already went through 2 to 3 cutting cycles, and my first 2 failed because I didn't have this method implemented, and with Sustain Gain, it has been flawless. It is, of course, a few bumps here and there, but for the most part, it has been very easy, and I've lost like 13 kgs in the span of 6 months. Okay, that is what happens when you have a system. You need a system, guys. You cannot just go without a form of system for anything in life, especially when it comes to fitness, right? So hit the gym 3-4 times a week, get your 10k steps, do 2 to 4 cardio sessions every single day. On top of that, with your training, I'll educate you a bit more right now. With training harder, also, you want to control the eccentric of your lift, which is bring the muscle to a stretch position we're going to control the downward movement and go explosive at the top. So because of wholly motor unit recruitment and maximizing muscle hypertrophy and having your muscle fibers actually be under a form of resistance more effectively. Of course, you don't need to make this super slow, but you have to make it slow enough to that you are actually having a better mind-muscle connection. This is why for beginners on my program, usually with my clients, I do advertise for more so machines at the start, right? Because they have a much more stable range of motion. They are much more easier to use for beginners. And on top of that, when you are using dumbbells, let's say you're incline dumbbell pressing, right? You're going to be doing this. You're going to be shaking. The machines, that doesn't happen. It's very stable and it's very fixed, right? And it's way easier to progressively overload over time. All right. Now, with that being said, right, with the sustained gain method, what you need to form to is consistently sticking to the habits that I've taught in the program, but also understanding that with like anything in life, you know, you want to like, why am I yapping for this part, bro? I lost my train of thought. But with that being said, I'm hoping that the free information that I gave you helped, because I genuinely want to help you guys. I want you guys to get to the best physiques of your life. Hopefully this video helped you. And if you want to work one-on-one with me virtually touching you across the screen, that's a bonus. Book a one-on-one call with me in the Calendly link below, right? There's a little link that I sent, or you could also go to my Instagram and DM me fit on there so that I could see if you're a good fit and we could work together and hopefully virtually touch. But yeah, breathe, yeah, divinity, finger wiggle time. But yeah, that's it. Hasta la vista. What was it? No. See you guys in the next one. Hopefully that helps. Sustain gain all the way. Hopefully you reach your goals. Hopefully this video helped. If you need more, if you want to, talk to me more, DM me on Insta. Yeah, that's it.